So there's one big issue that's going on right now in Marathon, and that is the fact that you are not able to change your controller settings very much, or at least your layout, when it comes to playing this game. But there are still some very important tips and tricks to improve your experience while using one of these. And now a controller specifically like this one will really help you get that extra edge on the battlefield. So first I want to talk about the different settings within the game you can select here for your controller. So we'll go over to the settings here, go into the settings page right here, and then go over to controller. This is where you get to change a lot of different little things to help your experience better. Now I found that between like 4 and 5 sensitivity seems to be the best overall option, as it gives you enough ability to move around quickly, but also it allows you to have that nice little snappy aim, but also stay on target more effectively, even though the aim assist in this game is kind of strong. The ADS sensitivity modifier is basically, do you want it to be less sensitive when you're aiming down sights, or higher sensitivity when you're aiming down sights? I keep it at 1 just to have that same kind of continuity, because the game does have a slowdown feature already built into it, and it seems pretty natural, but it gives you the opportunity to tune that how you like. These next two are really preferential: the look inversion and horizontal inversion. This is basically if you're used to playing Flight Simulator, you can use these options. Look centering is something I want to keep off on default. I don't want to have the game move my character without me making that choice. So having this turned off, I think, was really beneficial for you. Controller vibration, I think we gotta get to this point, guys. You gotta turn that stuff off. Having something like this, even though it does feel a bit more immersive, right, to have controller vibration, it can just give you that weird vibration effect where like it kind of might affect your aim a little bit. It's kind of preferential, but I do think it does have an effect on how you actually perform in the game. A really interesting option here is double press delay. There are some buttons on here where you have to hold down the button, or you double tap a button. Does it actually click in or activate different abilities, like say like for Locust's dash, where you have to double tap jump. This is a really cool feature where it lets you select how long you want that delay to be. Now for me, changing that to 1, which is at default, seems to feel pretty good. I've never had an issue of double pressing a button I never meant to in this game, having it at the lowest sensitivity. But if you feel like you want that double tap delay inputted a little bit longer, well then you can obviously change that right there. Lastly, swap bumpers and triggers. This is purely preferential, but I keep it on the regular one because it just feels like a normal gaming experience. So that's it, right? That's all the settings? Well, not really actually, because if you have a gaming controller like this one, a Hex gaming controller, which you can find in link in the pinned comment and in the description of this video, has a really nice feature on the back, and that is the buttons on the back that are programmable. And the great thing about these Hex gaming controllers is that actually you can create profiles on the back with this button right here. So what makes this Hex gaming controller different than any other kind of controller, right, compared to say like a regular Xbox controller like this one right here, is definitely there are no buttons on the back in the regular one, buttons on the back on this one. These are effectively modified regular Xbox controllers that have buttons on the back, and also this feature right here, which is really nice. You have 6 different programmable options. Each ring color represents an entirely new profile for how you have your controller programmed, which is super nice between games. So for example, this blue ring represents my Halo settings, where this green setting represents my Marathon settings, and then this light blue ring represents my Call of Duty settings. So there are key buttons on here that you want to try to program to the back of your controller, because you want to keep your thumbs on the sticks as much as possible. So one button I highly suggest is mapping this A button, as it's your jump button and double dash. So the way to do that is you flip over the controller, hold down the button to where it starts to flash right here. As you can see now it's flashing. What I'm going to do is hold down the button I want to program to the back to the button I'm trying to program from the front. So I'll hold down A, and this button I want to be A. Any one of these could be the A button, but I want this to be A. So I'll hold these down at the same time. Watch the controller turn to red. There you go. Then you know that yes, it has programmed it, that it wants to be the A button. And then you basically hold that button back down, and then you're able to go back into regular play. Another button I highly suggest mapping to the back is your ping button, which is the up button right here. I like to kind of keep like my buttons on this side, on these buttons, and these different options on this side over here for the most part, to kind of keep that symmetry. So the up is ping, which means you have to like take your thumb off the movement stick that pings something, which pinging is incredibly important in this game, especially when you're playing with solo. So what you gotta do is I like to have this one mapped to this smaller button up here. And also holding down on the D-pad right here brings up the menu to hot swap between, you know, your different types of healing. So you don't want to take your thumbs off the stick in the middle of a gunfight, right? So I have the down on the D-pad set to right here, where it's just tapping it activates the heel, holding it down lets you bring up the wheel, which you can switch around with your left stick. Another really important button to switch over to a back button would be your melee, which does depend on which weapon you have out. If you have just the knife out, then it's going to be using right trigger, the melee. But if you have any weapon out, it's pressing B. And you don't want to, again, take your thumb off the stick to do that if you're in the middle of a gunfight. So I like to program this actually right here for you guys. Like I said, we hold down this button right here. Wait till it starts to flash. There you go. I'm going to hold B and this upper button right here at the same time. Let me sort of show you guys what it looks like right here. So you hold that down for a few seconds. Turns red, the flash. It goes back to that. Let you know that I got programmed. Hold it down to set it back to normal. And there you go. Also want to mention with these hex gaming controllers, you can customize them in great detail. You can customize the skin that's on it. You can customize the colors around it. You can customize the buttons, the background, the grips, if you want trigger stops as well, which is crucial for an FPS game. They also have controllers if you prefer PlayStation experiences as well when it comes to your interfaces. And when it comes to button remapping in Marathon, Joe Ziegler did say on a recent live stream about it, that they do plan to put in. They wanted to put in for the alpha, just couldn't get there in time. When there's maybe another playtest or when the eventual beta, which is rumored to come around here in August, will come around, we'll definitely update this, give you guys the best settings possible for controller and eventually mouse and keyboard once they get it working. Again, guys, check out Hex Gaming. They've been a long time partner of the channel here, really been great support, and also they just make good stuff. I wouldn't be pushing it if I really did actually enjoy it. Plus, if you use my link and code, you get you a little bit of a discount if you guys want to pick up a controller. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully these tips will help you in the alpha and eventual other experiences, guys. But thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.